Good morning, good morning. What's up, everybody? Yo, I'm about to read 16 through 20 with y'all of spiritual warfare. This is the fourth part of story time. Without further ado, let's get to it. Now, as we last left off, people armed themselves with Bible quotes, and others armed themselves with box cutters. Let's see how it turns out, shall we? Okay, the patients with box cutters became instant targets of the vengeful spirits of the vengeful new patient's spirits. My bad. The vengeful spirit lashed out on the patients with box cutters in one fierce swat from its essence. Then the vengeful spirit called a Bible verse from Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21. Luckily, the patients with box cutters didn't die during the attack. Furthermore, the patients with box cutters should have not started to pursue the whereabouts of the vengeful spirit. The patients with box cutters were knocked out by the attack from the vengeful spirit. As for the patients with the Bibles, they were attacked as well by the vengeful spirit. The vengeful spirit made the patients with Bibles doze off while they were trying to read some scriptures to cast out the vengeful spirit. The young couple couldn't do anything but watch what transpired around them in fear. However, the young couple did summon the other doctors to come and get the patients out of the room to safety. After the patients were removed from the vengeful spirit's clutches, the young couple would try to communicate with the vengeful spirit. Sadly, it was unsuccessful. This action left the young couple without any options, so the young couple shuts down the session with the patients until further notice. Even though the young couple thought of the whole facility where they worked, including the people, the young couple were still unsure of what the day would bring, especially when it comes to the intentions of the vengeful spirit. Later on that day, the young couple were visited by the people of faith. What made them visit the young couple was a very interesting topic among the neighborhood. As soon as the people of faith and the young couple were deep into their conversation and comfort zones, the neighborhood became crowded with news people and the people that lived there. Mm. These people surrounded the young couple's home in hopes of getting the big scoop on the situation of the new patient's death. The other patients who dropped on the floor of the center and the other patients. Okay. Okay, let me read that over for y'all. These patients, these people surrounded the young couple's home in hopes of getting the big scoop on the situation of the new patient's death and the other patients who dropped on the floor of the center. The group had no choice but to not partake in social media. The group didn't even notice that the streets were filled with people until the people were yelling questions to ask the young couple. The people of faith were irate at the questions the news people were asking, so the people of faith went outside to confront the crowd of spectators and noticed that some spectators backed off when the people of faith were seen. As for the neighbors and a couple of news people, they stuck around to get the truth about what went down at the facility where the young couple works. The young couple had no comment about the events that transpired, but they did tell them that the matters will be observed ASAP. Although the young couple responded to onlookers and the onlookers and the press were not hearing them. They wanted more info on the center's situation. This action made the crowd chant, "We need more info." Also, this action left the group of the young couple and the people of faith exposing why the crowd feels that the info given wasn't enough. When the people of faith exposed the reason, most of the crowd were in shock of the discovery. The news people, however, were mad at the answer from the people of faith. The news people were enraged enough to express themselves in self-defense, but every time they get a word in, the people of faith were seen as the victors while they were reading from their Bibles, cutting through every word. In con, the news people and some others were heavily expressing. After telling the truth, after telling the press and the onlookers off, the group went back inside of the couple's house and continued with their conversation. During the young couple's conversation with the people of faith, they came up with their own solutions to the problem of the current events happening around the center. Well, that's all, y'all. Until next time, I'm going to read 5 more pages to y'all. We're on page 20, so next time it will be 20 through 25. Until then, see y'all next time.